back, guys, once again to Underwear on the Outside. I am Ryan Anderson, and joining me to my left is...
Brad Learman.
And what's up, man?
Oh, nothing much. Busy week.
Yeah, all that school stuff, right?
Busy week with school. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And luckily for us, we were able to get on for this special episode here, which is Brad's topic. Our good friend...
Oh, John Stratman. I didn't know if you were going to introduce me or not.
That's all right, man. It's good to have you on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, anyways, for this episode, we're going to be talking about Brad's little topic here, which is...
Would you or would you not want to live in the Star Wars universe?
It's a very good question. So, as we do, just pick a topic at random, talk about it for a little bit, and let you guys decide for yourselves what would you do if you were given the same question. So, Brad, why did you think about this particular topic for this week?
Well, trying to think of something actually interesting to talk about that we could talk about for, half an hour or so.
Yeah.
And also varying degrees of, things that would be really bad in the Star Wars universe that you would never, ever want to deal with in real life.
Right.
Or some things that are really awesome that you would love to have in real life. So.
Yeah, totally. So I didn't have a lot of time to think about this, but to be fair, I've kind of always thought about this, or like the broader kind of topics of this sort of thing. Like one of the ones I thought about years ago was, would you want to live in like the Pokemon universe too? Because that's another really weird and interesting place to be in. But Star Wars is such a cool place, but again, it's filled with constant turmoil and just shifting of the guard all the time. I don't know if I'd have peace of mind living in a place like that, but it's so damn cool that I think I would want to live there, right? Like, what are your reasons for or against wanting to live there?
You know what? I actually would not mind living in a universe such as Star Wars.
I mean, you are like the big Star Wars fan, so that doesn't totally surprise me.
It's that high fantasy sort of setting. It's technologically advanced. I mean, if you could look at some of the medical devices that sometimes are in the movies, modes of transportation. I guess less of a varying degree of wealth and poverty. I guess it's
True.
A little bit more mitigated.
I was just thinking about, as you said that, though, there's a good deal of low tech in there too. Like, you think about their scanners and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What's John's take on this?
Yeah. I wouldn't want to live in the Star Wars universe.
Okay.
It's like our life, but it's like bigger and more dangerous, and life has no value, pretty much. Well, yeah. For a lot of people, life has no value. I mean, you can be.
Yeah.
Chances are you're not going to be some force-wielding chosen one.
True.
And like, there are so many people who are just like dirt poor, and what do they have for entertainment? Like blue, fluttery holograms or bubble opera.
Right. Drinking all that blue milk and all that nasty shit. I don't know, man. It's a tough sell sometimes. I mean, does the cool factor outweigh the, like John said, kind of like the terrible poverty that exists in the galaxy?
I guess if you want high adventure, the easiest way to do that is join the military.
Right? Yeah.
But we saw how that kind of goes in Han Solo.
No, he ditched.
But look at all the other people that joined the military, though. Like, they were getting blown up left and right.
Yeah. My point exactly.
Yeah, everyone's expendable in the Star Wars universe unless you're maybe a Jedi.
True.
Yeah.
But again, it's sort of like, I guess, a couple of factors. One, what planet are you born on, or like what sector you're born in?
True.
And two, do you have the ability to like move somewhere else? Like, if you're living on, say, like, let's say you're born on like Tatooine, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
And other than working or repairing robotics or I guess mining for minerals, being maybe mining for water. But
or
then again, like, what happens if you live on a Clemson?
You could be a pod racer though too. Just saying.
Yeah, but again, I mean, sort of back to John's argument. Like, that's extremely dangerous.
True. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, how many people died in that?
Not just being just the racer, like actually working on the pods themselves.
Yeah. Oh no. No kidding. I don't know. It's a tricky thing because like I like parts of Star Wars, but I don't know if the good outweighs the bad when I look at it. Maybe in the prequel days, like in the Old Republic and all that stuff, like when it seemed like Coruscant and all that stuff was a little bit more on the up and up. Like that would be okay, I guess. Or maybe,
yeah, I mean, like
yeah,
Coruscant, maybe. I'm trying to think of other worlds that are.
I mean, there's a lot of hippies out here in California who'd be down with hanging with the Ewoks. So, I mean, I kind of like that Ewok lifestyle, just living in trees and stuff. I don't know, it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
there's some good stuff in Star Wars for sure. I just don't know. Like, I would feel like, as long as the Empire exists, the idea that any day I could just wake up and there's a giant laser pointed at my planet to blow me the smithereens, that's what I'm worried about. Like, I don't care so much about necessarily the Empire taking over the planet because odds are someone would come in and inevitably save the day, but I'm worried about my planet blowing up at the push of a button. That's really what ruins it for me. I don't know. John, what would you do? I mean, you're pretty much against the whole idea, or no? Is he any good?
Like the universe is like you've got way many more planets to choose from, and you've also got many more diseases that you have risk of getting.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a nightmare. I mean, you'd probably get there's like in the Old Republic there was like this rat ghoul plague thing. That shows up in a few places.
What in the hypothetical, like if you got to be a Jedi, do you think that you'd actually want to live in that world? Does any like perfect circumstance get you to want to be living in that world?
Well, what kind of like am I a Jedi in?
Oh yeah, if you're pre-Order 66, you'd be okay. If it's post-Order 66, I don't know.
Are we considering the KOTOR stuff canon? Because there was a Jedi Civil War that wiped them all out at one point.
Brad, this one's on you.
For the sake of this argument, yes.
I don't know, because like there's like a point where being Jedi is like pretty much being space police at some point.
That's also a good point.
I don't know. It seems pretty mundane sometimes. I mean, I guess you've got a lightsaber, so I guess that's kind of cool, but then after using it so many times, it kind of becomes less cool, I'd imagine.
Also, we're talking about like the great possibilities and all that stuff that would exist for us if we went and lived like the best life ever. What if, and hear me out on this, we went to the dark side, you know? Like, is that the worst thing in the world, in this world?
It's probably almost worse.
Do you think it's worse? I mean, inevitably you're going to get crushed, but...
Well, okay, so kind of like including the KOTOR series into this.
Okay.
There was it was a Sith school that was built either on top of or around like old like Sith relics.
Okay.
And the school, I don't remember if you had to, but you had to be ready to kill your other classmates if the teacher asked you to.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know if any of us would have the balls to do that.
Well, I mean, depends on how evil you are, I guess, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you did join the Sith, so.
Yeah, exactly. Once you join the Sith, I mean.
Sort of already on your way there.
Exactly. In this scenario, does the world of the Gray Jedi exist, or is that
I guess they're a little bit more abundant than what we see in the movies.
Yeah, I mean, like there was a whole thing about it in Star Wars Rebels that was actually really good, and I really enjoyed that. But yeah, there's not going to be a lot of you in the galaxy as it seems to be.
Well,
so.
Yeah. Well, and like in both KOTOR games, you actually encounter a Grey Jedi, and they both they're both a part of like the team that you can travel with and stuff and talk to.
Okay, that's kind of cool. I guess like let's just start like outweighing the good and the bad. So what are the pluses here? So let's start listing them off. Lightsabers for one, obviously. What are other good ones that you can think of?
Light speed travel.
True. You're selling me on that. Is time travel possible? Real quick, is time travel possible in the Star Wars universe?
Technically, no.
Okay.
But the fact that
if you count Rebels.
Did Rebels time travel? Really?
They had this one episode where they went into this weird like limbo dimension and they pulled Ahsoka out of a duel with Darth Vader.
That's right.
That's how they brought her back.
Yeah.
And the internet hated it or loved it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, the internet has their own opinions about every little thing, so, you're going to get the good and the bad.
Everybody, jeez. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But okay, so the possibility that you could at least go into time travel or a pocket dimension of sorts, like that exists. So, okay.
It's only happened once, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's like a very minor occurrence that you probably don't want to depend on.
Well, because you know me, like, when it comes to time travel, I'm pretty much sold immediately. So, because, again, with time travel, you can fix everything, but at the same time, you can also make everything terrible, the whole butterfly effect, all that. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, other positives. Who's got one?
Well, you also are able to I think everybody speaks galactic speak, so you're able to talk to every single species in the universe.
Is that true though?
Except there's like outer rim races that you're not that they don't know it or they don't speak it.
Because we saw in Solo that he didn't understand Chewbacca, but he came to understand him over time. So I don't know how much everyone understands everyone, but I feel like the planet to planet understanding of each other is a lot easier than, dialect to dialect is, on an earthly scale. So I guess that's a plus. I'd go with that one. I'd say force powers are probably another big thing too, like the ability to mess with people's minds and, those, what is it? They call it a force dash, I think, because they did it in the prequels, right?
Phantom Menace,
yeah, where
you can do the dash,
yeah. Okay. Any other positives we can think of?
Intergalactic tourism would be.
Oh yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. Not to mention, I mentioned medical advances already. Replacing limbs, or just the fact that they can obviously there are probably other diseases that are crazy out there, but you could eliminate disease, or the treatment of diseases could be extremely fast.
True. Yeah, like the Bacta tanks and those sorts of things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Isn't that what I'm trying to remember what Finn was wearing in Last Jedi, like the suit that he was in? Was that Bacta related, or was that some other?
I am not sure. They don't really explicitly say, unless they have it in the making of book.
Yeah, it could be.
Was sold separately.
John, any insight on that?
I think it might have been.
Okay.
It might have been directly related, or it might have been some sort of offshoot knockoff technology or whatnot.
Okay. I think I heard before it came out and before we had any footage, I heard rumors of a Bacta suit, so it must be Bacta.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, the tourism part of it all. And see, that's the thing that kills me. I've always been the type of person that from a little age on wanted to go and live on Mars or travel to Mars and that sort of thing. But the idea that you could literally just planet hop and it would be less than a day's time to do it would be so cool that, I don't know, that's kind of winning me over a little bit. So I'm kind of leaning into this a little bit. Any other positives we can think of before we get into some negatives?
I guess exotic food.
I'd be 50-50 on that because, I don't know how good the exotic food is for me, so I don't know on that one. We'll put that in the maybe column. I mean, it's not bad. I'm with you on that.
I don't know. Those instant muffins look pretty good.
Instant muffins?
Oh, those would be so good. I just want to try one of those. Just one.
I'm forgetting. Where's the instant muffin thing from?
That's Ray. That's when she gets those little packets.
Oh, yeah, the little thing, and then yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
It insta-raises into like a muffin or a bun or something.
Yeah, it looked like just straight up wheat bread, though. I don't know if it was very tasty, but that's pretty damn impressive. Okay.
Or you could make something that you get like, or you could make something from watching that one cooking show from the holiday special. What is it, like bantha rump roast or something?
Oh my god, I haven't seen that in forever. Yeah, probably.
But he's like whip stir, and it's like, he's making a roast. What is he whipping and stirring?
Right? Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, yeah.
I don't know. It's been a while.
You would think it'd be some sort of potatoes, but yeah, it's meat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's weird.
Well, they've got another good thing. They've got good music. They've got that Cantina song.
Yeah.
They've got Jefferson Starship.
Wait, where does Jefferson Starship come in?
He's in the holiday. Or they're in the holiday special.
Yeah. Wow, I forgot about that too. Man.
I'm just gonna keep bringing up stuff from the holiday special.
You should.
Nice.
You totally should. Even though I'm sure anyone who's listening is probably screaming like, "Don't bring that up." I don't know. Like, I guess porks are pretty delicious, right? Like, I'd eat a pork.
I would probably say so. I mean, that's like grade A chicken.
I'm sure Amanda's coming out of the room just to check on me and just give me the evil. Yep, there it is. There's the evil eye. So there's that. And then
I guess we could get to some of the negatives now.
Yeah, why not, right?
I mean, we got a pretty long list of positives.
Yeah, we got the dark side to worry about. I think that's inevitably one that you have to deal with.
Constant,
a lot of,
I guess, shifting of power, or different factions vying for power.
A lot of instant death weapons.
Yeah.
Lightsabers, giant death rays. Let's see, blasters that could put a hole through you in one shot, but for some reason really don't.
And that's just them being used intentionally. Imagine all the accidents that go on.
Right? Oh man. Yeah, there's a gun argument you'd never win. Man.
No safety rails.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
what is up with that? The design, man, I tell you. Yeah.
I heard it was like George Lucas intentionally didn't include handrails because he was like, they're so proud of their like technological advances that they are not even concerned with safety.
So they're just a bunch of arrogant pricks.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't know. There was an article on it. I'll probably Google it later to see if I can find something on it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's see what else. I don't know if
Terrifying monsters.
Yeah, I was going to go into alien people. Yeah, so
well, not alien people, but like terrifying like monsters that are not, I guess.
Oh yeah, like giant sandworms and that sort of thing. Yeah,
Sarlacc pits.
Yeah, exactly. I was honestly even thinking about like other alien races that you can't necessarily trust, like whatever.
Like the Outer Rim races.
Well, I was even going to say like the kind of shady characters that are in it for like crime and that sort of thing, like Sebulba and like Jabba types, You
can't trust an entire race? No, that doesn't seem right.
Man. He got me there.
Boy. We're going to have to report this guy here.
Well, I'm sure there's some good ones.
Well, I mean, they're like so like you'd have to. What the heck are they? That's not the sand people. What the heck
Jawas?
is the name? I cannot. No, not Jawas.
Well, I don't know. You said sand people.
No, they're the really violent ones on Tatooine.
The really violent ones on Tatooine.
And they're very territorial.
See,
I think you're thinking of Tusken Raiders.
Oh yeah,
yes.
There you go.
Are the same thing with sand people.
Yeah.
Sorry, but like I mean, you're talking about like indigenous like races on certain planets that are like really secluded, and then if like you happen to like come across them, like you're in deep crap.
Yeah.
Where are Twi'leks from? I've never thought about this before.
I thought they have their own planet. Isn't that in one of the games?
Probably.
Might be.
I think you go to a Twi'lek planet on Force Unleashed, one of those games.
No, you don't. You go to Felucia, which is where it's where that one Twi'lek died. I forget her name.
I don't know if it's because we were talking about sand and all that stuff. It sounded like you said Fallujah, and I really started to think we were going in a whole different direction there.
They're from Ryloth.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh. Yeah, that's their homeworld.
So has that planet ever been seen in Star Wars like live action medium?
And maybe in, I don't know if it was Rebels or Clone Wars.
Okay, like Clone Wars would.
Maybe like once. Maybe once.
Isn't Ryloth? Wasn't Ryloth in Battlefront 2's campaign? Or at least in space?
See, I was about to buy Battlefront 2, but Brad keeps telling me don't. So I haven't yet.
Well, I bought it when it was on sale.
Okay.
And I don't know, the campaign, there are way better Star Wars video game campaigns. It's okay. I don't know, like online isn't as bad as people say it is. It's fine.
It's fine. All right. What other terrible things can we think of?
Bounty hunters.
Just a second before we get away from races, I have to recommend that everybody watch Neil Cicerega's Guide to the Races of Star Wars.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with that one.
It is amazing, but not for the reasons you may think it is.
Interesting. Does it get really racist, or what?
You'll see. I won't
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So yeah, back on the other negatives though. What did you have, Brad?
I guess like the ability to just hire a bounty hunter and just
go
after anybody that you want to,
because people can't do that in real life.
Well,
I would say they're more skilled than.
Web and whatnot, but.
I would say alien ones are more skilled than earthly ones, though. I mean, more tech at their advantage and their disposal.
I guess they're more. I guess maybe they're more widely known.
True.
In the Star Wars universe, whereas here, people are kind of.
I don't know, man. People know Dog the Bounty Hunter pretty well.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just like a bounty hunter, like Dog the Bounty Hunter, like bounty hunters that possibly they search and kill people.
Yeah.
And people actually know about that, and they all know who he or she is that does that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I'm giving the edge to the space bounty hunters though because of their tech though. I think that's what puts them over the edge with other ones, because I'm sure in their galaxy they know of XYZ Clorgon the whatever who's bounty hunting for whoever, but it's the tech that puts them over. Like the one we saw in, I want to say it was either episode 2 or episode 3, that female bounty hunter who had like that long range scope and some explosives and things like that.
She was that's one of the morphing alien races,
right? And she can morph. You can't do that with a human. So
wait, are you talking about? Oh, I thought you were talking about Aura Singh. No, you're talking about Zam Wessel.
Yes, Wessel. Yeah, right? Thank you. There's so many names in Star Wars. Okay, yeah. So I'm giving the one up to the alien. So yes, I would put that in the negative column. Any others we can think of?
Can't think of any on the top of my head at the moment. You got anything? John?
Not really. I mean, I'm just imagining like how people learning to drive, or how
yeah,
accidents. Yeah. But imagine that with spaceships.
Yeah, no real boundaries for driving. Yeah.
Imagine that part with that part in Force Awakens where the Falcon's taking off, but it's knocking over a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah, right.
Imagine that. Imagine people stumbling out of the cantina, getting into their ship, and just knocking down a building.
I officially already know the worst job to have in the Star Wars universe.
What is that?
That is to be a driver's education teacher.
Yeah, totally. See, and actually what I think of when it comes to driving, though, would actually be in, like, Episode 3, where Anakin and Obi-Wan are jumping out of the, they're in the city and everyone's crossing through everything else, and then he jumps out, literally. Like, not only is that a complete shit show, like, I see no real organization to all that, even though for some reason they're following some sort of pattern that's not really explained. Then you've got people that could, at any point, because there's no real windshield or no real tops on some of these vehicles, just jump out and just hop onto your vehicle from, like, 30 stories above you just because. And, like, you have no reason why. Like, they could come in with a lightsaber, stab you, kill you, whatever. And, like, that could just be a normal day for you. And, like, that's it. I'd be freaked out.
I can imagine somebody, like, speeding to work and then just, like, getting hit by a falling cigarette every once in a while.
Right? Yeah.
Wait, no. This is Star Wars. It'd be a falling death stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, or, like, think about this. Like, what if Boba Fett has to go back in and get his, like, driver's license recertified? And he has to go on, like, a small driving test? And he's doing all these cool flips and stuff and diving and, like, dodging asteroids and stuff. But the instructor's like, I have to, like, inform you that you can't use your blasters on your ship to kill people. Otherwise, I'm going to have to fail you. And then, like, Baba just, like, pulls out a freaking blaster and he's like, what did you say? He's like, you passed?
I mean, that's a good question, too. Do they actually have driving instructors? Like, really? Like, it doesn't seem like Anakin got one in Tatooine, so...
I mean, you have to think, like, there is some sort of, like, licensing entity somewhere.
I mean, is there, though? Like, you would think so, but maybe they just pick up a book and they're like, this seems easy enough, and then they just go for it. I don't know. I mean, because if they're letting Anakin at the age of what? Like, what was he, 9 in the first movie? The idea that he could just be piloting this death machine, essentially, with just, I mean, it's 2 engines, electrical current, and then like a stationary piece in the back, amongst all these other creatures, and then just let him do whatever he wants, pretty much. Like, I mean,
hey, he has Jedi reflexes. Give him a break.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, but how many other 9-year-olds are giving that a try and failing miserably?
Like all of his friends.
Yeah.
Like, think about that.
Yeah, all the ones that are encouraging to do it and stuff like that, they probably, souped up their own vehicles and all that stuff. I'm sure there's a little kiddie, like, Fast and Furious ring that's going on in their world, and, everyone's just kind of cool with it. I don't know, man. It just sounds like a bad place to be. That's where I'm going with it. I'm putting it down. I'm saying Star Wars, it's a cool place, but not the place I'd want to be. What about you guys? What's your vote?
It's good for, like, escapism, but only if you're not the one dying.
You'd want to visit, but you wouldn't want to stay there, right?
Well, like, yeah.
Okay.
Like, there's a reason, I don't know, there's a reason that I've enjoyed single-player campaign Star Wars games more than online multiplayer Star Wars games. It's because it's not much fun being an extra.
Right, yeah. Very disposable and all that, yeah. Brad, what about you?
I'd still like to live in it.
Okay. I mean, I kind of figured it was coming from you being the Star Wars guy and all, but still.
I mean, granted, like, there's a lot of really bad stuff that can happen.
I mean, I wish you the best.
I mean, like, all the turmoil and crap, but, like, beyond that, like, I think there are still, positives that, in the grand scheme of things, still outbalance the bad.
All right, fair enough.
Regardless of the degree of, how much that actually outweighs it or not.
All right. Well, I mean, I think we came to a pretty good consensus here. Star Wars, the majority here seem to believe bad. There's some good there that's worth investigating, and I think we should definitely give that a try. But I think John and I are in agreement on this. Not really the best place to be. All in all, though, I want to thank you guys for listening to this week's episode. As always, you can find us on all the normal social media platforms and all that stuff. We did have a little hiccup with our Libsyn account. Everything's back to normal. I wanted to thank you guys for reaching out to letting us know that certain things were off. We got things back where they were, so I want to thank you guys for that. You guys can find us at nerdragepod.libsyn.com. Find us on Twitter at TheNerdRagePod. You guys can find us on Facebook. We're on, iHeartRadio and Spotify and all those other ones. Support the show by going and finding us on Patreon and throwing us a buck so we can make other fun episodes just like this. And if you guys are interested, always go and check out our TeePublic site where you can buy our merchandise. And we're going to be working on some new logos actually as of this week. So we hope that you're interested and hope you're buying just like some of you guys have been. Maybe.
And what about John? Where can people find you?
I was just going to say, and then John, our good friend, the King of 8-Bit Trailers over here, where can people find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at StratmasterJ. You can also follow me on Instagram at StratmasterJ. I post a lot of images of stuff I'm working on. Do a lot of video gamey, movie-based stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and your trailer this week for Venom was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, again, for the Nerd Rage podcast, I've been Ryan Anderson.
I am Brad Lehman.
And?
I've been John Stratman.
And we will see you guys again another time.